You know that thing they call the glass ceiling? Of course you do. The invisible barrier keeping women from the top. I hate to break it to you, but it is not floating above your head. It is lodged right here between your ears. And until you smash it, no amount of late nights, extra projects, or proving yourself will get you the job or the pay you deserve. And here's the truth they are not telling you. The women who move up the fastest are not the ones burning the midnight oil. They're the ones doing something completely different. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you what it is and how you can start doing the same without risking your reputation, your health, or your sanity. Right now, most ambitious women believe the answer is working more hours, taking on more responsibilities, more proving they are indispensable. But in reality, the better you are at execution, the more they will keep you stuck in execution while someone else gets tapped for the role you've been waiting for. You already know this if you've ever stayed late, picked up the slack, and still watched a less qualified colleague land the promotion. The old rulebook said work hard and loyalty equal advancement. But these days, promotion comes from perception, visibility, and influence. And there's a way to start being seen as leadership material in weeks, not years. And it doesn't start with working harder. It starts by rewiring the identity that's been quietly holding you back. So, how do I know this? I'm Denise Green, author of Work-Life Brilliance and coach to executives at Fortune 500 companies like PayPal, Salesforce, and Oracle. For over 2 decades, I sat in senior corporate roles. And for the last 10 plus years, I have coached hundreds of women on 5 continents go from burned out and overlooked to promoted, respected, and rewarded, often inside 12 months. So let me give you the 3 shifts that change everything. First is the worker bee trap. The harder you work, the more invisible you become when promotion time rolls around. Worker bees keep the hive running, but they don't get crowned queen. Leaders do. Second, identity first, tactics second. You cannot affirm, journal, or network your way out of the worker bee identity. Until you shift that identity from the inside out, your brain will keep dragging you back into overwork. But once the shift happens, decision makers start seeing you differently, sometimes in as little as 30 days. And third, radical curiosity. Most women believe competence means having all the answers, but that often backfires, making you seem tense, over-scripted, even intimidating. Radical curiosity flips the script. By asking smart, disarming questions, you project confidence, calm, and influence. Leaders do not need you to have every answer. They need you to ask the questions that shape the conversation. And finally, something I like to call tactical laziness. Once your identity shifts, this becomes second nature. It's not about avoiding work. It's about cutting out the low-value grind and redirecting your energy into the handful of visible, high-influence actions decision makers notice. So do less of what drags you down, more of what lifts you up, and watch how quickly your career accelerates. Let me show you just how fast this can happen. One client came to me after burning out in the technical medical field. She was a perfectionist. She was out of work, her health was failing, and her marriage was on the rocks. She thought she tried everything. Classes, coaches, therapy, journal, podcasts, nothing stuck. Once we shifted her identity, we introduced her to radical curiosity, and we applied tactical laziness, everything changed. Within weeks, she started landing interviews. Soon she had the highest paying role of her career. Her health healed, her marriage healed, and for the first time, she felt seen, not just as a worker, but as a leader. And here is the truth. It doesn't take years. It can start happening in weeks. If this resonates, here's your next step. Right now, my team and I are offering free promotion mapping calls. So in just 20 minutes, we will identify your internal glass ceiling. We'll assess your promotability, and we'll map out the exact steps you need to land the role you want in the next 6 months. And on this call, we will help you pinpoint the invisible barriers stalling your career. We will show you how to apply tactical laziness in your current role, and we will give you the next 3 moves to position yourself for promotion. These calls are short, focused, and powerful, but they're also limited. We only open a handful of these each week, and they are free for a short time before we return them to only private application. So if you're ready to stop grinding in the worker bee trap and start stepping into the leadership role you have earned and you deserve, book your promotion mapping call now before the spots are gone, and we'll see you then.